We are starting into one of the most exciting chapters that I think in Michigan Studies. Up until now, we have really talked about just what was going on in Michigan, the Native American tribes that lived here, the things that were important to them, we learned that some of them traded. But now we're going to talk about some of these people that come to Michigan from far away. We're going to start to learn about the Europeans, but mainly in this section, we're going to talk about the French. So as you start reading this chapter, and you're going to be reading lesson 1 over the next couple of days, you're going to be introduced to what they call fur traders. I want you to understand that the fur traders are not the Native Americans that are here. The fur traders are the French, the people that came here. And they were new to these Native Americans. They looked different. When they saw them, they had hair on their face. Their skin color was different. They're very, very different than them. But the Native Americans were really curious. So you're going to learn about some of these, like the things that we go through all the time. The first part of the chapter and the lesson, some new ideas to explore, something called opportunity cost. And we'll get more into that in our discussion when we talk about it a little bit later on this week. But the opportunity cost is really important because it talks about something that someone has to give up in order to get what they want. We always have to give when we're trading. We have to give a little to get a little. And that opportunity cost is what you give up in order to get what you want. For example, if I want to buy, let's say 2 items. Let's say I want to buy some new software for the classroom, or I want to buy a new chair for the classroom. I have to decide which one is more important, the software or the chair. And I really want them both, but I decide to get the software because I know it will benefit everybody else, and I'm okay with the chair that I have. So what I gave up that chair, that is my opportunity cost. It's the cost of getting what it is I want. So you're going to read about that a little bit in this chapter. When you talk about a family, we come back and meet JG and Beck in our chapter here, and a little bit about their parents too. Scarcity, I think that's something that you're pretty familiar with. You're going to be meeting the French and the traders, okay? Please understand, when we talk about traders, the fur traders, we're talking about the French. We're not talking about the Native Americans that are here. Places to discover, France, that's over in Europe, across the Atlantic Ocean. Words to welcome, the first word is bonjour. That's the French word for good day or hello. So I might greet you tomorrow morning and say bonjour, to see if you read it. And the word opportunity pronounced for you, the opportunity here. Right? And then take note of this timeline. Whoops, there you go. As we go back again in time, we're really talking here from the 1600s to 1800. From the 1620, the first French reached Michigan. 1658, this should be things that we have kind of gone over. Sault Ste. Marie started, our first European town. 1701, the French start Detroit. So we're going to start getting more specific in Detroit in this chapter too. So this is what makes it really cool, because it's familiar to us. We're right here. We're Detroit natives. In 1760, the French lose Michigan to the British. Yes, we're going to get into some wars. For you guys that like wars, we're going to get into a little bit of some of the wars. And 1763, when Pontiac attacks the British forts. Now we're talking about a man named Pontiac, Chief Pontiac. We'll get into him and we'll learn about him in this chapter too. So it's pretty cool stuff. So you're going to read lesson 1 all the way through. It's really not hard reading. Until you get up until this area right here, and this is where you start talking about opportunity cost here. When you talk about trading and some of the things that the Native Americans wanted and the things that they gave away in order to trade. All right, so the lesson ends then here on page 85. You're not going to continue on with the questions. You're just going to read these, and I suggest you read it a couple of times so that you understand it when we come back to discuss it. All right? Don't do the questions. Don't worry about those. I'll have a way for you to do them. Okay? Thanks.